Well, hello YouTube, and welcome back to Retired for Life. Today we are going to take a 5-year look at the Woodland Mills HM122. I bought this back in 2021, and we're going to talk about the things that I have learned that I really like about it, and about the things that not so much. All right. So when I bought this mill from Woodland Mills, I got a few other things along with it. So I got the mill with the 9.5 horsepower optional motor rather than the standard 7 horsepower motor. I got 2 packages of blades. I got the tow board. I got the Sawmill power head cover. I got the winch post kit, the adjustable blade guide, the spare parts kit. And because I was a repeat customer, I also got $100 off the price. And I didn't have to pay shipping because I was close enough that I could drive there and just pick it up myself and bring it home. So altogether, that package came to $4,662.95. So I bought the bigger motor because I knew I was going to be dealing with bigger logs. The place where we've been harvesting our trees from has got really good size, like 100-foot tall pines. So the logs going on that mill were going to be a good size. So I thought, can't go wrong with a little more power. And that worked out really well. Now the tow board was a bit of an extravagance. I know there are much cheaper ways to be able to adjust the height of one end of your log to get that even cut. But this tow board was all stainless steel. It was made for the mill. It fit right in there, and it's so easy to use that I'm very pleased with how it works. So I was quite pleased with that purchase. Now the winch post, I haven't really needed. I got that just in case I ended up with a log that was too heavy for my subcompact tractor. But so far, that's worked out really well. The adjustable blade guide I got because I felt that that distance between blade supports from one side to the other was just too big, and I wanted to be able to close that distance down, especially we're dealing with smaller logs, to give that blade good support while it's running. So what issues have I had with this mill since buying it? Installing the adjustable blade guide was pretty tricky. That's got to be installed just right so that the guides that the blade runs through isn't rubbing on that blade when the guide is fully extended or all the way back. So it's got to be nice and true to the blade, and that took a little bit of fooling around with to get that just right. And the blade guide came with a guard that ran along the bottom of the guard that covered the teeth, and that turned out to be a bit of a nuisance. I actually got it jammed once and bent it, so I just took it off. And I do my best not to put my fingers on the cutting edge of that blade while it's running. The blade tensioner did start to give me some issues after about 2 years. It was jamming up and it wasn't releasing the wheel, so that got to be a bit awkward. But I figured out it was very easy to take that apart and clean all the inside, clean the washers that were in it, grease it, put it back together, and it's worked fine ever since. And there is a really good drawing of how that tensioner works in the manual. So taking care of it is really not much of a challenge, and it really works well. When you've got your tension set on your blade, you know it's very repeatable. You know you're getting the right amount of tension on the blade. And I have broken all of 2 blades in my 5 years of running that mill. One of them I broke when it got tangled up in that guard that runs along the bottom of the blade guide. The hour meter on it failed after about 2 years. I probably could have pretty easily taken it off and replaced the battery in it or something like that, but I didn't worry about it because after 2 years of running that pretty hard, I really didn't need to change the oil on that motor more than once a year. So at the beginning of the year, before I start the sawmill up, I put fresh oil in it, and away you go, and we haven't had any trouble with it. The log scale that came with this mill, I found practically useless. They are a magnetic scale that fits on there. Now, if you're doing a very standard size, I think there's only like 3 sizes available on those, and one of them is 1 inch. So if you're doing nothing but 1 inch on your log, that's fine. That seems to work okay. But there are a lot of occasions where I'm doing more than one size out of a log. And then you just run into trouble. You're trying to switch things around, go back and forth from one scale to the other. To me, it just wasn't worth it. What I ended up doing was making these gauge blocks. So anytime I had a different size that I wanted to cut, I just made a gauge block to that size, and that worked great. Now, I understand that they do have better magnetic scales out there now at Woodland Mills. I may look at them and possibly give them a try. I'm not sure yet. I am really happy with how the gauge blocks work. It's very, very repeatable, as long as you're careful with how you use them. And as for the 9.5 horsepower motor, it's a Collier motor. It has worked great. As you saw in this video, that motor has sat for a year, 1 pull, and the motor was off and running. That's a really good motor, and as I said earlier, I'm very pleased with the extra power that I get from it for those bigger logs. The only thing extra that I have bought for that mill since having it has been the Pro log supports. Now those have got rollers on the top of them, and I have found that that makes it so much easier to flip your log or your cant, especially when you're dealing with some of the bigger logs that I've been dealing with. They can be a real struggle to turn over, so any advantage you can get really helps. Yeah. So overall, over the 5 years of running, I have been really pleased with this machine. Now, I am what you would call a backyard hobbyist. So this machine has suited me perfectly in my price range. It's not automated. It's not a production machine. If you're looking to produce lumber to make money from, I would suggest you look at something that's a little more automated than this, just to make your production level that much quicker. And the one big warning that I would have for you about this mill, and probably about mills in general, is be really careful when you first put this mill together and set it up. Take the time, make sure it's right, make sure things are square, make sure things are level, and everything lines up the way it should before you cut your first board. Your mill is just going to run that much better for you. You're going to get more nice straight cuts. You are going to wear parts out a lot less frequently because nothing is jamming up. There's nothing working against itself to wear things out. You'll just get that much more life and that much more satisfaction out of your mill. All right, folks, so I hope you have found the video interesting, maybe a little bit useful, and if you have, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and I'd love to have you subscribe to the channel. So remember to stay safe out there, be good to each other, and we will see you out on the trails the next time.
These days the night shift cutie at the truck stop knows my name. Threw the candle in the midnight oil and lit up the honky-tonk highway. I see the sun come up, cause I ain't been to bed. Gonna have my name cut into a stone when I lay my head. No rest for the wicked, at least for a few hundred miles. I'm running wild,